First question is, how was your upbringing? Any special memories about your childhood?
I had a really happy childhood. I mean, that's probably like, yeah, if you want to use the word happy, I mean, that's probably the happiest time of my life. Because I mean, yeah, my parents are cool and everything. So I mean, I had a big sister. I still have a big sister, by the way. And it was all good. I mean, it was pretty regular, I guess. I would just run around climbing trees and playing with toy cars and shit like that. Always doing something forbidden, I guess. I mean, that's what kids do anyway. So, I mean,
where were you raised? Was it Helsinki?
It was Espoo. It's like a suburb of Helsinki. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where the Lake Bodom is, actually, as well.
Are your parents proud about you nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, they're totally into what we're doing, So that, that they still buy our albums and shit like that, and like my mom, she's keeping a scrapbook, like, of all everything she can find from magazines and newspapers and stuff like that, like interviews and pictures and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, they're totally into it. I mean,
she's basically running the archive for you guys.
Well, almost, yeah.
Do you collect something? Records, stamps, guitars?
Hold on, let me think. Not really. Cars. Yeah, but I mean, I have 3 cars, but I mean, I wouldn't call that a collection, though. I mean, yeah. But that's enough for me anyway for now.
What kind of cars do you have?
I'm just into like American muscle car things. Like, I got like a 74 Dodge Monaco, which is the car from the Blues Brothers movie, the cop car. I got that. It's got like a 7.3 liter engine, which is like tuned up, so it's got like almost 400 horsepower. Big ass car, but it's pretty fast though. It's really nice. It's a shitload of gasoline though. Like nowadays with the gas prices, I mean, it's pretty insane. If I want to, if the gas tank's empty, I gotta fill her up. Nowadays it's like almost fucking 130 euros when I have to fill her up, because I have to have that high octane gas to get the car running. I have a Pontiac Firebird right now as well, but it's been in the garage for like 2 years now, because this one guy, it was actually changing doing an engine swap, put a Corvette engine in it, and changing the transmission and everything, so that's like, a big mess anyway. And I have a Chevy pickup truck as well. I mean, that's what I drive on winter time.
Do you remember your first show as a musician?
That I did, or the first?
That you did, yeah.
Well, if you want to call it a show, I was 7 years old playing violin. I mean, no, I think it was 8. Yeah, it was 1987. Yeah, because I used to play violin as well, so we did a lot of these shows. I mean, it was just a bunch of kids, this orchestra just playing classical shit, So yeah, I guess it was 87 and somewhere in Espoo anyway.
Do you remember the worst show you ever played?
Yeah, I totally do. I remember everything. I remember the date. It's 27th of December 1997 in Helsinki. Tavastia.
What was the most embarrassing moment of your life?
Of my life? Jeez, I gotta think about this one. Can I take a minute? Because I really need to take a minute in here. Well, normally I would actually refer to the show that I was just telling you about, but I've already went through that subject, so I'm just gonna come up with something else. Yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah. I mean, I think I was on second grade, so I was like, what, 90s or whatever? Yeah, and I didn't have long hair or anything, but it was kind of long anyway, and then. The school was about to end, it was like spring or whatever, almost June, so, always you have, this kind of spring, whatever, the ending party at the school or whatever, and so before that, my parents, they told me that, okay, I have to go to a barber shop, to, get my hair cut, because it was like out of control. And my dad took me to the barber shop, but he had to go somewhere because he had like a job thing that he had to do, and he was like, okay, just whatever, just do something. And I wasn't even paying attention what the guy was doing with the scissors and the goddamn thing. I was just reading comic books or whatever, and he was just asking me, well, should I cut more? I was like, yeah, should I cut more? Yeah, sure. And then I almost had a fucking shaved head, like, which I looked like a fucking cancer patient or something like that. And when I went into the school, I mean, everybody was just laughing at me and pointing fingers and shit shit like that. And so, I mean, that's like, I got into like a couple of fights because of that, and then I just, I ran home like crying and all that shit like that. That was pretty bad.
Is there any kind of music or an instrument that you can't stand at all?
Music, probably like all this Brit pop bullshit, like Oasis and stuff like that. I hated that shit, man. I really did. And a lot of bands, who have like, the kind of bands that the music sounds kind of whiny and complaining, like Pearl Jam, like Eddie Vedder. I mean, let's just say Eddie Vedder's voice. I mean, it's one of these instruments that I find pretty annoying. Let's just put it that way.
What is the most bizarre rumor you ever heard about yourself?
Probably, yeah. And that was a good one, actually. That me and Jan were a gay couple. I mean, that was a good one. I know how it started, though. I mean, we played somewhere in Canada. I think it was... I don't remember the town, but anyway, it was in Canada somewhere. Okay, it was Jan's birthday, and he was, like, totally so wasted, And I was out there. I was drunk as well, but I was out there, we were just hanging out with fans and stuff, like just drinking and whatever. And, we just like to do stuff that freaks people out, and it's nothing more. So, just all of a sudden, we just started kissing, me and Jan. And then all these people, they just freaked out. Like, they totally flipped out, They seem to be a pretty homophobic nation, I guess, or whatever, but
last one. Which 3 records would you take with you on an isolated island?
Let's see. 3 records. Dude, that's a pretty tough one. Well, yeah, I don't think it makes anything easier, but let's see. Okay, well, Bark at the Moon, probably. No, actually, No More Tears. Yeah. And, let me think. Fuck. What the fuck do I listen to? I mean, Jesus Christ, it's such a hard one. Okay, maybe No Anastasia by Stone. Robert's X band. Still one of my favorite albums. And the first Andrew WK album. Because in case there happens to be a party at the isolated island, I have to have Andrew WK City on me, just in case. I mean, maybe I'll find some native whatever people in there who have their homemade booze, and then, I can introduce them to the Western party music.
Okay. Thanks a lot for doing it. Cool.